Hello guys, it is I, Otaku Shinsaku, back again for another video reaction. This one is not on anime or anything like that, this one is more on tech. And I wanted to talk about this because this is a very important first look into where we are headed in the future. And I just wanted to cover this. So this video is going to be mostly a reaction to MKBHB's new AI generated video, but it's also going to be a general AI discussion video. So strap in as we discuss together the future of AI and where tech is headed and the future of the internet is headed. Because basically everyone has been looking for what Web 3.0 is going to look like, and I think we are finally getting an idea of where Web 3.0 and the future of the web is going. So let's dig into this.
All right, so this is simultaneously really impressive and really frightening at the same time, and it's hitting me in ways that I didn't really expect. So, do you remember Will Smith eating spaghetti? Do you remember when this was what AI generated videos look like? Remember when we said, okay, this AI stuff is cool and all, but clearly there's a long way to go before there's any need for concern? Well, welcome to the future, people, because this is also an AI generated video. And so is this, completely synthesized out of thin air by computers. This one too. This is not real. Absolutely ridiculous how far we've come in literally 1 year. This does feel like another ChatGPT, DALL-E moment for AI, and maybe I'm overreacting because, okay, I'm a video creator, so an AI that's actually doing my job, maybe that feels a little more threatening, so I'm particularly impressed by it, but also this stuff is really good. So today, Sam Altman and OpenAI announced a new model called Sora, and it can generate full up to 1 minute video clips from just text input. So the same way DALL-E was able to understand our text input and turn it into a photorealistic or stylized image or whatever you want, same thing with Sora, but now since it's videos, it also needs to understand how all these things like reflections and textures and materials and physics all interact with each other over time to make a reasonable looking video. And of course, right away, there's a bunch of examples on their website that are crazy. Now, before I show you these, I just need you to keep this in mind. You're about to watch a bunch of AI generated videos, and you know that you're about to watch a bunch of AI generated content. So your brain, you're already looking for this stuff, and it's not perfect. You will find imperfections, but not everybody who sees AI generated content on the internet knows to be looking for that. So also keep that in mind. This is also the worst that this technology is going to be from here on out. So, okay, here's one of the videos. There's no audio to any of these clips, but the prompt for this one is: a stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street filled with warm, glowing neon and animated city signage. She wears a black leather jacket, a long red dress, and black boots. This video is already miles ahead of where we were. It has accurate lighting, it has materials, it has skin tones, movements, it even has reflections all over the place. Now, of course, if you look at it for more than about 10 seconds very closely, there are lots of giveaways. Like this dude in the background kind of looks like he's gliding in a weird way. The frame rates and the reflections in the water are for some reason lower than the rest of the video. The camera movement overall is just a bit inconsistent, and it just, I don't know, it just kind of feels a little bit off. But then again, this is where we were 1 year ago. So just keep that in the back of your head for all this. Okay, how about this one? This is another one which has a long prompt about a camera following behind a white vintage SUV with a black roof rack as it speeds up a steep dirt road. This is also, again, really good. It kind of looks a little more video gamey because of how rock solid the drone footage is, but clearly very usable. Here's another one: a litter of golden retriever puppies playing in the snow. Their heads pop in and out of the snow, covered in it. It's so good. It feels like the physics of the fur and the ears and everything with the snow flying around in slow motion is incredible. I've looked through all of the sample videos on OpenAI's website, and clearly these are the hand-picked best ones that they chose to share, where they just put in some text and then get a video and don't modify it. But there's really impressive stuff in there. Some of it has humans, some of it doesn't. Some of it is more realistic feeling, like the truck driving one, but some of them are more video gamey or more stylized. A lot of it is slow motion. I just have to say, how insanely fast these models are improving is genuinely, like, that's the shocking part. Like, I remember not even that many months ago, DALL-E 3, really, really high end, and you could always still find something off about it. Like, especially if you ask it for something like a photorealistic image of a human, something about like the hands or the ears would always just be a little bit off. Never mind the physics. But even this video here is crazy at first glance. The prompt for this AI generated video is a young man in his 20s is sitting on a piece of a cloud in the sky reading a book. This one feels like 90% of the way there for me. Like, it's beyond the uncanny valley of like Apple's personas, which are actually based on humans. This is a made up person. I mean, his eyes are kind of weird and the motion of the pages in the book are kind of odd. And yeah, obviously he's in a cloud and that's a giveaway, but like the lighting and the shadows and the skin tones and then all the realism of the textures on the shirt and the way the shirt and the pants move and the hair, they're all really impressive. And then for this one, they typed in a movie trailer featuring the adventurers of the 30-year-old spaceman wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet, blue sky, salt desert, cinematic style, shot on 35mm film. And the close-ups of his face, the fabrics on the helmet, the film grain through every shot, and the cinematic style, this is one of the most convincing AI-generated videos I've ever seen. Minus maybe the weird physics of that dude walking kind of in fast motion. So Sam Altman, if you follow him on Twitter, he's going through a whole bunch more of like people's requests and posting a bunch more generated videos. And so if you want to check out his profile, you can see those. But here's the thing about these AI generated videos now, as good as they've gotten to this point. They can and will pass as real videos to people who are not looking for AI generated videos. Now, that is obviously insanely sketchy during an election year in the US and also terrifying for a bunch of other internet related reasons, but it's also perfect for stock footage. Like, there are already all kinds of presentations and advertisements and then PowerPoints that are in need of oddly specific stock videos, and these AI generated videos are already good enough to 100% pass for that purpose. Like, look at this one with the waves at Big Sur, this drone shot. Honestly, if I saw this on Twitter, I wouldn't even think twice. I'd be like, oh, nice drone shot, dude. Wouldn't even think about AI if I wasn't pixel peeping at like the way the water was moving. Like, this is a totally usable video in an ad for some California-based product. And that has all sorts of implications for the drone pilot that no longer needs to be hired, for all the photographers and videographers whose footage no longer needs to be licensed to show up in that ad that's being made. It's already that good. There's other stuff like this wall of TVs, which would be a totally expensive and difficult thing to shoot with a camera and all of these old expensive props. But if you can just generate it this well with reflections and the environment and everything else around it, I mean, why do it any other way? It's also very capable of historical themed footage. So this is supposed to be California during the gold rush. It's AI generated, but it could totally pass for the opening scene in an old Western with the right music over it. How long until an entire ad, every single shot is completely generated with AI? Or what about an entire YouTube video? Or an entire movie? I'm tempted to say like we're a long way away from that because, you know, this still has flaws clearly and there's no sound and there's a long way to go with the prompt engineering to iron these things out. But then again, the spaghetti was like a year ago. Now, actually, like that OpenAI on their website, they show some of the downfalls too of this particular model. And because who would know better than the people who have been using it? This is a very private tool, by the way, right now. It's in super limited access, so it's in the hands of red teamers, which basically means people testing it, pushing the limits, trying to break it, and a few trusted creators. But they have found plenty of weird edge stuff. Like this clip here of a bunch of gray wolf pups. Looks normal at first, but then it's pretty clear that something's kind of off with the way they're just kind of appearing out of nowhere and walking through each other. That's kind of weird. Or this clip of a guy running on a treadmill, which, I mean, I don't really have to say much more about why this one's weird, but this is my favorite one. Again, just try to put yourself in the mind of someone who's not expecting AI. You're just scrolling through Facebook or Twitter or something, right? So you just see this video. So first, I just want you to watch this clip as if it's just a stock video you found of a grandma celebrating her birthday, and just try to think like, I wonder what birthday she's celebrating, right? I don't know. How old do you think she is? 60? 65? Maybe it's the big 7-0. She seems to really like that cake. Now, did you see it? Did you catch that? I'm gonna play it again, but this time watch the video knowing that AI generated photos and videos have trouble accurately doing hands. I'll play it again. And now it feels super obvious. Like every time you watch it, watch a different set of hands. It gets weirder and weirder. You can watch it like 5 times and there's dead giveaway after dead giveaway. Not even mentioning the weird inconsistencies with the direction of the wind on the candles. But even as I'm saying all that, even as it's coming out of my mouth, I can't help but remember that 12 months ago we were critiquing this. So what does this all mean? Well, I mean, there's what it means now, and there's what it means for the future. Now, Sora, this thing that they've made, is clearly a really impressive video generation AI tool that is both going to fool people and also be very useful. There's also a watermark in the bottom corner of every video generated by it. So if you see one of those videos and ideally it hasn't been cropped out, then that's at least a pretty clear indicator that it's AI generated. It's a Sora video. But I do think they're going to have to be very careful with this. They're going to have a whole bunch of safety stuff to keep in mind. I think they'll probably have to be even more safe than DALL-E. Like, you shouldn't be able to generate people's likenesses. Like, you shouldn't be able to make a politician look like they're doing something on video, especially this year. You probably won't be able to make Will Smith eating spaghetti. But it also definitely means stock video generation is absolutely going to take a dent out of video licensing. Like, I can basically guarantee that. Like, logistically, why would anyone making something pay for footage of a house in the cliffs when they can generate one for free or for a small subscription price? Like, that is the real scary part of what this tool implies. But in the future, it gets pretty existential, man. I mean, okay, if this is trained on all videos that have ever been made by humans, then surely it can't be innovative or creative in ways that humans haven't already been, right? I don't know. Either way, I'll have all the links below for all the Sora stuff, for OpenAI stuff, and I guess I'll talk to you next year when we look back and go, remember that first version of Sora and how bad those wolf pups looked when they spawned out of nowhere? Just remember, this is the worst that this technology is going to be from here on out.
All right, so well, since we used that NPHB video, whatever, to look at just AI video creation, let's get into the wider topic of AI. So I want to shift gears and focus on right now this TikTok video, because it gives us a bunch of examples of where AI and robotics currently is and where it's going to go in the future. So let's dig into this TikTok video, if you wouldn't mind.
You work at Amazon, they can do that now.
Another ruthless attempt by Amazon to get rid of human jobs, but Amazon shot back that
You used to be an Uber driver, they can do that now. You used to be a server, take people's orders and bring their food out to them, they can do that now. You used to be a cook, work fast food, they can do that now. You used to work at Starbucks and make people coffee, they can do that now. You used to make movies and TV shows, they can do that now. This is AI text-to video 1 year ago. And this is it today. Every day on this app, I see that people are struggling to find work, but they're saying by 2030, 40% of today's jobs will be replaced by AI. That's almost half. I understand that AI will create new jobs, but I have a hard time believing it's going to create more jobs than it's replacing. Also, a lot of these companies, a lot of these business owners are going to they're going to choose to implement AI and robotics into their companies because they're not going to need sick days. They'll work 24/7. You don't have to pay them. You don't have to give them a raise. They're not going to bitch and complain about anything. They can't be dissatisfied with anything. They're not going to stage a walkout. I understand that this technology has not been perfected, but it will be. This technology isn't going to be implemented into everything overnight, but it is happening. And it raises a lot of questions for me. It seems like the goal is to get the system to run itself as much as possible, because we've been the one that's been running the system. We've been keeping it alive, and now it's like we're handing it over to AI and robotics. And so one of my bigger questions is, where does that leave us? What do we do? What is pay gonna look like?
Yeah. And so with all of that, those are completely legitimate questions as we go further and further down this AI robotics rabbit hole. So let's continue on this rabbit hole. If you don't mind, please stick with me. So as we go down this AI rabbit hole, I also wanted to show this video that I recorded at my local Winco of this AI-driven, basically what I call a industrial-sized Roomba. Basically, it's this industrial-sized floor cleaner, and as you can see already, there's no operator. There's no human operator at all. It is just AI and computer vision operating this machine throughout the entire store. Keep in mind, the store is, like, I'm in there as a customer. The store is still open. This thing can automatically wait for customers to pass and all that stuff. It is completely safe. Winco can just allow this thing to operate in a full store during the busiest hours and not worry about it. So let's see this. So yeah, you can see that that even AI and robotics has gotten to the point where it is now in the public, right? Again, this was recorded like 2 days ago when I was at Winco getting groceries. And here's this thing that has taken clearly a job away, because normally, as you can see, there would be a human operator there. But there needs not be anymore because it's now completely replaced with an AI. And so now you have this robot floor cleaning unit completely doing a job that a human operator would usually get paid for and get paid hourly for and all of that. Now it can do it all by itself, and the only thing it requires is energy. Obviously, you can tell this thing runs off electricity. So long as the power plants are operating and this thing gets electricity to recharge its batteries, that's it. It can operate 24/7, every single day, every single night. It has no sick days, no nothing, and it's fine. But what's not fine is the fact that it is clearly taken the job, probably multiple jobs, because again, this is just at my one local Winco. When you do the mental math of figuring out how many of these must be operating at not just Winco, but a lot of grocery stores nationwide, you can start to see how many jobs this one unit has cost. And so you can really start digging down into where AI and robotics are going just off this one machine. And so everything that we have looked at has led us here to Google Gemini, which is Google's version of these AI text interfaces for their various products. Gemini is Google's version of ChatGPT, of Bing with ChatGPT built in, Bing search, stuff like that, right? Stuff that, many people are familiar with today. Gemini is Google's version. It used to be called Google Bard, but Google Bard is now dead, and they've completely replaced it with Gemini, and Gemini is going to be the name going forward for all of Google's AI services. This is just what Google does, right? There used to be Google Video, but that was completely replaced with YouTube. There used to be Google Music, that was replaced with YouTube Music. There used to be Google Podcasts. Now it's YouTube Music with podcasts built in, right? That's why you can upload podcasts to YouTube, as well as the fact that you can use the YouTube Music app to subscribe to RSS feeds of audio and video podcasts. This is what Google does. They replace old products and services with new products and services. It's what Google does, right? And the reason I want to focus on Gemini specifically is because Gemini, I believe, is the scariest AI algorithm that exists outside of a potential AI algorithm created by Apple. In terms of the fact that it has access to the most amount of data that any AI algorithm has. Because think about it like this, ladies and gentlemen. For those watching this video, think about it like this. Gemini has access to all of Google's services and everything that's on Google servers. And you would think, well, that's fine and that's dandy, but that's okay. No. Gemini has access to every document uploaded to Google Drive to train on. Let's go through the things that Gemini can train itself on. As of right now, as I'm sitting here right now, Gemini is back at Google HQ training itself every day, 24/7, making itself better on not just the requests that users give it, but it's also training itself on Google search. Keep in mind, Gemini was built first and foremost as an assistant to Google search, as a lot of Google products are. Google search is still Google's #1 product. So they want to make that better. And so Gemini has access to everything Google search has access to, which is basically the entire internet outside of the basically it has access to the entire public-facing internet. Again, I was going to say basically outside of the dark web, right? You and I, like everyone watching this video is not surprised by this. Google search has access to what Google search does, which is everything that is public-facing. Okay, that's not already scary enough. Gemini has access to Google Maps data. It has access to Google Earth data. It has access to Google Photos data. Yes, all of the photos that all users, including myself, I'm not exempting myself, I'm an Android user, all users who have uploaded videos and photos to Google Photos is subsequently helping to train Gemini off of those photos to recognize faces. Like, again, we think that these services are just there, and we don't think about the wider context. When users like myself use Google Photos, and the fact that Google Photos can recognize faces in multiple photos, not only faces but animals as well, that is helping to train the AI algorithms back at Google, namely Gemini now. So again, we've gone through this: Google Search, Google Maps, Google Photos. What else does it have access to? Google Drive. All files uploaded to Google Drive, including PDFs, are being scanned by Gemini to make itself better and make itself, obviously better for the end user. So you can already imagine how much data that already is. Now let's get to the big one, the big daddy, the big kahuna, about why I started this video with AI text to video. Because a lot of people would say, well, that's ChatGPT just announced that last night. Google obviously doesn't have an answer to that. They don't yet, or at least they haven't yet publicly announced they have a text-to-video algorithm yet. But clearly, Google is racing ChatGPT to be, the web's AI. Just like how Google Search is basically the search engine for the internet. Yeah, Bing exists, but let's be honest, all of us, no matter what web browser we use, the absolute overwhelming majority of internet users use Google Search. And so Google's attempting to do the same thing with Gemini and AI, right? They want to be they want to be the AI for like 80 to 90% of internet users. And so, with that being the case, the one service I did not say in that list yet is the big kahuna, YouTube. Gemini has access to YouTube. Right? When you go into the settings of Gemini and you click on extensions, this is what it currently has access to. It has access to Google Flights data, Google Hotels data, Google Maps data, Google Workspace, Gmail, Drive, Docs, YouTube, as well as the fact that obviously Google Search, because this was the first thing that it was built on. So all of these services it has access to, and it's training itself to be better. So when you think about it, what does this mean? This means that a eventual Gemini version of a text to video algorithm is going to be light years better than anything ChatGPT can do. Because Google, as the direct owners of YouTube, have access to the base source code of YouTube. That's not, like, I'm not letting some big cat out of the bag. That's obvious. Well, what does that mean for Gemini? It means that Gemini is built off of the source code of YouTube, and therefore every video ever uploaded and ever will be uploaded to YouTube ever. So every YouTube short, it's training itself on. So eventually you could ask it to generate a YouTube short for you. Not just that, it's training itself on every YouTube video. And when I say every YouTube video, I mean everyone, right? Because I want to remind you all that even if you make a video unlisted or private, I hope you realize that that video is still on YouTube servers. Meaning YouTube admins, aka Gemini, could see even your privated videos and train itself off of that as well. You know, whether to recognize human faces, human emotion, animals, nature, whatever video you have, it can see and train itself off of. And remember that old thing of how many videos? Here, I want to do a live demonstration. I'm going to ask Gemini how many videos are uploaded to YouTube every day worldwide. Give it a second. It didn't spit it out. And for those who don't want to read, you can click this button and it will read out the response. So let's listen to Gemini's response.
There's not a single definitive answer to the exact number of videos uploaded to YouTube daily, as YouTube doesn't release precise figures. However, several reliable sources offer estimates based on different factors. Number of video hours. 500 hours per minute, according to TubeFilter, 2019. This translates to 30,000 hours per hour and 720,000 hours per day. 330,000 hours per day. WiseOwl, 2024, uses an average video length of 4.4 minutes to arrive at this figure. Number of individual videos. 3.7 million per day. This estimate appears in several sources, including RepeatTube, 2022, and Oberlo, 2023. Other considerations. These numbers likely differ depending on the day of the week, holidays, and special events. The average video length used in calculations can vary. YouTube Shorts are not necessarily included in all estimates. Therefore, while the exact number remains unknown, you can safely say that hundreds of thousands of hours, or millions of individual videos, are uploaded to YouTube daily, making it a vast and ever-growing platform.
So, you all heard that, and of course you can read it on your screen. Look at this answer, and just imagine the mind-boggling content on YouTube. Again, this is an AI. It knows context. So since I started this conversation, I don't need to say YouTube anymore. I could just ask it a question as I would ask a human. So let's go on with that. How many hours roughly of content total today? So let's listen to this answer.
Estimating the total amount of content on YouTube is even trickier than calculating daily uploads. Here's why. 1. No official data. YouTube doesn't disclose the total video duration on its platform. 2. Deleted content. Videos are constantly deleted, making it difficult to track the ever-changing size. 3. Private videos. Only publicly available videos contribute to the total content. However, based on available information and estimations, we can get a rough idea. Daily uploads. As mentioned earlier, estimates point to around 300,000 to 720,000 hours uploaded daily. Platform age. Launched in 2005, YouTube has been accumulating content for almost 20 years. Average video length varies, but sources like Wiseowl, 2024, suggest an average of 4.4 to 11.7 minutes. Putting these together, we can make some educated guesses. Low estimate. Considering a conservative daily upload of 300,000 hours and average video length of 4.4 minutes over 20 years, we get roughly 82.08 billion hours. High estimate. With a high daily upload of 720,000 hours and video length of 11.7 minutes, the total could reach 644.58 billion hours. Remember, these are just estimates, and the actual figure could be higher or lower. It's safe to say that the total content on YouTube is massive and likely exceeds hundreds of billions of hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just heard is why a Gemini version of a text-to-video algorithm is absolutely staggering to me. Because that's how much content Gemini has access to train itself on. All of that. And keep in mind, we're only talking about what we would consider as conventional YouTube videos. Ladies and gentlemen, when you buy or rent a movie or a TV show off of the Google Play Store, Google Videos doesn't exist. What video API is Google using to deliver you that content when you stream your digital bot content? YouTube. YouTube's API is being used. Ergo, these movies and TV shows are uploaded as YouTube videos. So Gemini can train itself not just on the YouTube video content that we would consider normal YouTube video content, but it can train itself off of every single movie and every single TV show ever uploaded to YouTube to be then later bought and rented by end users and consumers. And so think about that, and think about all the art styles it can then hijack. Because anime is uploaded to YouTube in the forms of in the past AMVs, but now full-on shows, because again, you could buy and rent them. So you could we could imagine a future where Gemini comes out, where Google Gemini launches a text-to-video algorithm where you could ask it to, for my fan base, you could ask it to generate a video completely out of thin air of a brand new, fully animated scene of Fate. Right? You can have it completely hijack the Fate Stay Night art style. You can have it completely hijack the art style of Fate Grand Order, of whatever the case may be. And you can have it do that. You can ask it, what would I look like in Fate? And it could shoot out a video, and it could give you a completely brand new video that looks like it was actually animated in Japan and voiced by them. Because keep in mind, remember, YouTube videos are videos, meaning it has both the motion of the video, but it also has the audio. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about YouTube, which already has the algorithms built into it where it can recognize language in videos and audio files to create automatic captions. That technology is obviously built into Gemini. And so Gemini can train itself not just on the video, but the audio content as well. So again, think about it like this, ladies and gentlemen. That future Fate scene could be fully voice acted by the voice actors of Fate. Because Gemini has access to all of the audio content of those Fate episodes and movies itself. So again, think about this. Think about what all of this means. We are staring down the barrel of an absolute majority of jobs, not just in the traditional labor sector, but we're looking at the staggering amount of job loss in the entertainment sector as well, because of the fact that what I'm saying is not fake. For those who remember, in the most recent season of The Mandalorian, they had Disney showed off their AI algorithm that they've built in-house, where they were able to fully generate a convincing, or at least convincing for those who weren't looking for the AI content. Again, for the absolute layman, consumer who was not looking for AI, the consumer had no way of knowing, until, of course, told by an outside source, that young Luke Skywalker they saw in The Mandalorian was AI generated. Not just the face and the CGI and stuff like that. No. The voice as well. Go back, ladies and gentlemen, and watch those Mandalorian episodes with young Luke Skywalker training Grogu. Every single line that young Luke Skywalker says is AI generated based off of every bit of audio content they have of Mark Hamill talking as Luke Skywalker. And so they fed that into an AI algorithm, and the AI algorithm was able to spit out convincing audio samples of Luke Skywalker talking that needed no recording sessions at all. It was just a computer. So we're already staring down this barrel of voice actors, of voice acting basically being gone. Voice acting as a career now has an end date. Not just that, but even acting on screen, period, has an end date. Because again, the entirety of Luke Skywalker was done with AI. Yeah, they used a body double because they have to right now, because the CGI is not convincing enough right now, well, at least for the full body. But think about it. Even if they still have to use body doubles, it means that instead of paying an actor and getting them on the Screen Actors Guild and stuff like that, no. It means that Disney as a studio, or any Hollywood studio, can just pick up random people off the street. They don't even need to look at all. They just need to look kinda like what they're going for. Put them in front of a camera for a single day of shooting, and then have AI completely replace the face and the mouth movements, and the AI can automatically do lip syncing, and it can also do the audio as well. So the only thing left of the original actor is literally just a few things of the body. It's basically they're hiring you as a template for the AI to use to later fully replace you. This is what we're staring down, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why I wanted to go on this little journey with you guys. Because I want you to realize, really think what all of this means. Really get down and think what all of this means. And I want you to really just understand that. And if you think video is the last thing they're going to go for, video and audio is the last thing they're going to go for, no. Again, we're talking about multi-billion-dollar, they're getting extremely close to being trillion-dollar companies. They're not going to stop at all of this. Every job that can be replaced with AI and robotics will be replaced with AI and robotics. That is a guarantee. If so long as the economic system we currently live in is not changed at all and is not stopped from doing this, we are staring down the barrel of a system where we thought that the 1930s Great Depression was bad. This is going to be even worse. Because we are staring down the barrel of potentially, that 40% you heard in the TikTok video, I believe is very conservative. I honestly believe we're looking at 50 to 60% or even more of jobs and careers disappearing in the next 20 to 30 years due to AI and robotics. Like, what these AI have to practice on is all the data we've ever fed it. And keep in mind of all the data we've given it. Again, you saw it when I showed it to you earlier. Gemini has access to all of Google Maps data. That's technically also all of Waze data. For users who use Waze instead of Google Maps, you do realize that Waze is owned by Google, right? Ergo, as the direct sole owners of that app, Google has access to the source code of that app and could put it into Gemini to practice on. So every time that you use Waze and every bit of data you feed into that app, every millisecond you use it, Gemini can use to train itself off of, so that a future version of Gemini that is put into self-driving cars, there you go. This, again, what we are witnessing, what we see right now, is the worst this is going to be. We are right now at the absolute rock bottom of this. That's why I completely agree with that line from the first video that we watched. Is we are currently looking at the absolute worst version that these AI algorithms are going to be. They are only going to get better and better and better. There's no direction but up when it comes to these algorithms. They are guaranteed to get better and better and better. And that has nothing to do with programmers. Because remember, these are AI algorithms. These are self-training. Basically, Now that they have started, it's like a snowball rolling down a hill. But that hill that it's rolling down is infinite. It's never stops. There is no end to the hill. So therefore, the snowball is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger infinitely with no outside help. Google programmers could literally just take their hands off the wheel of Gemini right now, and just due to its own self-training algorithm, it's going to get better and 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 better infinitely. Like, again, the amount of jobs that are going to be lost to this. Telemarketing, that's gone, because again, you can we saw that Google already had that in-house demo years ago of Google Voice being Google Assistant being able, well, Google Assistant again is going to be completely replaced with Gemini. So years ago, Google Assistant, now Gemini, being used to schedule and reserve a table for its users by itself, and it completely sounded like a real human. So telemarketing and phone calling, that no longer needs humans. You can just have that replaced with AI as well. So they no longer need a human to do that as well. A Gemini AI can call for you. Call for not just you, but a business. We know that Google is partnering with a lot of companies to have AI run the computer speaker systems at drive-through lanes. And so, the person you're talking to sounds like a real human, because that's what a lot of these assistants have become, is they sound really, really human-like. And so that's another job that's gone. Because again, eventually it's going to get to the point where companies like McDonald's can open up entire restaurants that have literally no humans working them. None. Zero. As the person you are ordering from at the drive-through lane is an AI assistant, AI voice assistant. And then once the order is passed on through, as you saw in that TikTok video, robots inside actually make the food. And then you you pay with your card, which is all just digital currency anyway. And then eventually, once you get your food, like I said, it was completely cooked by robots, and it just gets shot out. A automatic window opens up, pushes out the food. You grab the food in the bag. The window automatically closes, and you move on. And the entire time, you interacted with zero human beings. And this is not something that is distant. This is something that companies like McDonald's are in the pilot stages of doing right now. We are looking down the barrel of an age where, like, that high schoolers, for example, are not going to be able to have jobs. High schoolers and those who don't have a college degree will be able to get a single job, period. Because all of these entry-level jobs will be gone. It's like, well, I have a high school diploma. I could be a truck driver, self-driving trucks. I could be a taxi driver, self-driving taxis. I could work for McDonald's. All McDonald's in the future will be completely operated by AI and robots. I can work at Walmart. No, you can't, because that's also operated by AI and robots. Look at what Amazon did with how it's having a completely cashierless version of its stores, where you just walk in, grab your items, and walk out. And because AI and the algorithms built into the cameras know everything, the moment you pick up the item, it's added to your digital cart in Amazon, and the moment you walk out with the item, it's checked out of your cart in Amazon automatically, and therefore you're automatically charged. Completely without interacting with a single human being. And you think that Walmart's not going to do the same thing when they already severely pay their employees so low that Walmart employees need to be on food stamps? Oh yeah, no. The instant Walmart can get rid of its workforce, it's going to get rid of its workforce. That is a guarantee. So we are looking down. Like I said, I am being extreme. I'm giving a wide breadth, but that's what I'm saying. Next 10, I would pay attention very closely to where AI and robotics goes in the next 10 to 20 years. Right? For those kids who are in middle school right now, for kids who are in 6th grade right now, they are looking at a society that may not have literally any jobs for them when they graduate high school in just a few years. Right? If you are in 6th or 7th grade right now, good fucking luck, is all I'm saying. Good fucking luck. With the economy currently where it is, where even people who have really good jobs can't even afford to pay rent for a studio apartment in many places. Oh, good luck, is all I'm saying. Good luck, as AI and robotics is just going to keep chipping away until, like I said, I'm really seeing that. Yeah, I do not see a society in the next 20 or 30 years, if it maintains its current course, where 50 to 60% of job and career fields are not completely 100% replaced with AI and robotics. Because we also have to factor in 3D printing as well. So the majority of jobs you can get in like the construction field, those are going to be gone too, because we already have robots and 3D printing robots that can 3D print and build houses completely by themselves. And when I say houses, I mean they can completely 3D print the foundation all the way up, put in all of the steel girders and beams and all of that stuff by itself, and eventually it will get to a point where even the tiny minute stuff like laying down electrical wire, it'll be able to do that too. So even a majority of construction field jobs that people with high school diplomas could get, I easily see that being gone too. As well as the fact that these robots would be able to be easily, again, be cordless, obviously, be able to operate off their own battery sources, and since they're working, if you build them with the knowledge that they're going to be working outside, you can have them, you can build them with solar panels on them, so that they can recharge themselves while they're in the hot sun all day. So instead of the hot sun baking down on construction workers, making them sweat and tired and need to take all these breaks that bosses hate because they got to build they got to be on time. It's all about that schedule. Instead of that, they can have a robot that actually encourages the boss to put it out in the baking sun because it's powered by solar charging cells. Oh yeah, this is bad. This is dark. And I'm sorry to leave you there, but basically that's what I wanted to talk about today. I will hopefully see you guys next time. I am Otaku Shinsaku, and again, hope to see you guys next time for whatever video I make next time. Bye!